but Niners.
Boom! What's going on, faithfuls? The Nothing But Niners crew is back, and we're here to bring you guys another random show. I can't say it's going to be fun-filled. I don't know if we're going to laugh. I can't say it's going to be serious. I don't know if we're going to argue. But what I do know is Tony is stuffing his face right now, and I got to know what my guy is eating. What are you grubbing on over there, bro? What's up?
A chicken sandwich.
Chick-fil-A?
No. It's from a deli.
You went to a deli and got a chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
You sucker. You sucker.
Yeah,
What's going on?
Well, the truth is, I've been up since 7 o'clock yesterday, straight through. I was up all day yesterday. I actually worked overtime from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. Came home, showered, changed, and I went for my 10 o'clock tattoo appointment, and I'm finally home now. And we're going to talk about the Senior Bowl.
We're going to talk about the Senior Bowl, the latest 49ers news, the rumors, and all that stuff. Tony.
Yo.
Have you heard what I heard about the 49ers' new quarterback?
No.
Oh, come on, Tony. Big things coming. You got to post the eye emojis. Come on, bro. Everyone else is doing it. Let's get in on this, man. Come on. We can do it, too.
Yeah. Basically, allegedly, there's Stafford's going to be traded soon before the Super Bowl.
You can't do that. No. You got to do what everyone is doing right now. Right now, the thing to do is, if you guys heard what I just heard, just so you wait. That's it. That's what the tweet is. That's the message you're sending. All right, now your turn. You try it. Come on, you can do this.
Yo, you hear what I just heard? My sources are telling me.
Yo, I heard the same thing, but we're not gonna say anything yet. Just gonna wait.
Yo, I don't know how I'm gonna wait, but whatever. Let's keep going with this.
All right, so there has been some news on the 49ers quarterback position. Kellen Mond is in. Newman is in blocking. Where are you at in the Senior Bowl? What's your count right now?
I'm on a commercial. It says yelling at your TV, something I do often.
Oh, okay. So am I ahead of you?
Probably.
Wow, that was a horrible throw by Mond. Wow, he almost.
I'm ahead of you.
Yeah, you are?
With HD TV don't work for me.
Jesus, he almost got that running back. Like nobody was even near him. That was a terrible throw.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah. All right. Just one quick thing about the Senior Bowl. Unfortunately, Mac Jones, a guy who I really wanted to see him play in this game, is not playing today due to someone rolling up or stepping on his ankle. precautionary, nothing serious. He practiced all week. He did have a little gimp to him, but yeah. So that's the one thing I know as of right now because I just walked in the door. But it's going to be interesting because there's a lot of decent players in this Senior Bowl, and there's a lot of big name players in this Senior Bowl due to the fact of the NFL canceling.
I don't like this.
Sam Elliott, yeah, that's someone I like. I also like Ian Book too, as well.
It's too small.
No,
I'm saying that's too small. Let's try this one.
okay, fine.
No, that's too small.
Okay, fine.
Just leave it at the default one, I guess. All right, we'll leave it at the default. I'm sorry. Yeah, he did his opening drive. He looked pretty good, man. Good ball placement. There was a scramble play where he ran outside and he just like kind of flicked his wrist and boom, that ball shot off like a rocket. So you're ahead of me for real? Because that's going to bother me. Are you really ahead?
Yeah, I think I am slightly ahead of you.
All right, I'm going to find something else to watch it on.
Such a jerk.
All right, I'm going to exit this whole app that I'm watching on right here. Tap twice to exit. Yes. All right, let's try this one here. Bear with me. I'm not saying I need to be ahead. I want to be caught up. It looks good, bro. Let me see. Hold on. Let me give you a full screen view. Hold on. Let me see. Tony's out getting some work today. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold that thing up.
Well, basically, that's for my daughter. And I did
Rosie. I like
that
it,
for my
man.
son. And he likes skulls. His favorite color is orange, so I put an orange headband on him.
Really?
And some reverse shadow stars.
All right. I see you, man. Your son likes skulls, so you got a skull put on.
Yeah, because the thing is, with my daughter, her middle name is Rose, so I got a giant rose put there. And so we did the skull for my son.
I like it, man. I like it. I like it a lot, bro. What if your son liked Barbie?
Like what?
Barbie.
No.
You wouldn't put Barbie on you?
Nope.
What if he liked Barney?
Pause.
For Barney? Oh, wait. I got to get you off of the full screen. My bad. I'm sorry. What if he liked Barney?
No.
Wouldn't put Barney? Okay. All right.
Would you put Barney on your arm?
I didn't have anything my kids like on me. That's why I was asking. Now, hold on a second. Gravedigger. Would you put Gravedigger on you for your son?
Oh, the truck?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put it under there.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. All right. I feel you, man. I like it. I like it a lot, man. No, there is. Listen, the 49ers issued something through Mike Garafolo saying we're good with Jimmy. Like, we're all right. Like we're cool. And then Josina Anderson says that the Lions are saying, wait, hold on. I don't want to misinterpret her tweet. Let me find Josina Anderson's tweet really quick.
So what we got here? We got a roughing the passer penalty against Mr. Smith, the defensive end from I think Alabama. Not.
I was supposed to be pulling up the game. You made me forget.
Good. Senior Bowl rosters.
It's so weird. It's considered college football on one channel, on another channel it's not. All right, let's see where I am. Let's see if I can catch you here.
Nice touchdown pass by here's a kid who just scored a touchdown. Okay. I want to touch on him because I really like what I've seen this week from him.
Is this shit even further behind?
What do you mean is it further behind?
All right, hold on. Wait. Text from league source on the Lions trade. Actually, you know what? You go ahead and say what you want to say because we'll get back to this.
Yeah. Demetric Felton. I like him.
I've heard a lot of good things about this.
He's a running back / wide receiver. Kind of reminds me of the mold of Curtis Samuel, but not as big. He had one hell of a week. Just ran an excellent route, broke up field, yards after the catch, into the end zone.
UCLA
really
guy. Nice little stiff
UCLA
arm.
guy. Really shifty, really explosive.
Mm-hmm.
I like what I see from him. But I really want to see what these guys could do as punt returners. Felton is one guy. I want to see my favorite prospect as a wide receiver in this combine, not the combine, the Senior Bowl. That's realistic for us to draft. I'm not talking about Tony. I'm not talking about Rogers from Clemson. I'm talking about Darby from Arizona State. Someone that caught my eye in season. He caught my eye, and just what I'm seeing in the practices this week. I just turned the game on now, so I don't know if he did anything in this game, but he's a really interesting prospect, and I really would like to see him get some reps, possibly as a returner. I want to see him get some reps as a wide receiver too in this game.
You never said his name.
Darby, Arizona State.
I didn't hear you say Darby. I'm sorry. What channel is this only broadcast on NFL Network?
I have ESPN. No, this is NFL Network. I'm sorry. Yeah.
This is the only channel that's showing this game right now?
Yes.
I'm very
know.
Very disappointed. How is it that ESPN can cover it all week long and then NFL Network gets the game?
It wasn't ESPN. That was ESPNU.
Well, okay. Disney had the game all week long, and now NFL Network has got it. I don't get it. How did you get what I'm saying? Like ESPN had the coverage of practice all week, and then boom, here we go. All right, so Josina Anderson did tweet. Who are you talking to? You're supposed to be home alone.
I'm looking at I'm seeing if it's on ESPN U.
She says, text from league source on the Lions trade talks for Matthew Stafford. Here's the quote. I'm sure they'll get a trade, but right now they're looking for a sucker to overpay.
All right. So how do we take that?
Well, I take it as right after that, well, before that, Mike Garafolo is on TV talking about how the Niners are saying that they're good with their current quarterback situation. They are not looking, they're okay and content with going into the season with Jimmy Garoppolo. So is that posturing? Is that what that is? Because let's be clear here. The Niners are not okay with Jimmy Garoppolo. They want to upgrade if there's an upgrade option out there.
Yeah. I mean, their main objective coming into this offseason was, you heard Kyle say it in the exit meeting. Number one, he wants to upgrade the staff. Number two, he wants to upgrade the roster. Mm-hmm. If there's somebody that's available that can upgrade a position on this roster, they will investigate it and look into it. 100%, I agree with that. We all know the situation with Jimmy. We talk about it till we turn blue in the face. I definitely think they are looking, obviously, to upgrade the quarterback spot. But you can't come out and say that, because now look what Detroit did. They came out and said, we're parting ways. Mm-hmm. We mutually agree to separate and go our own way, whatever, via trade. So now the teams in the NFL, the 49ers, the Rams, know that they don't want him no more. So now they kind of lost their leverage. I don't think Stafford has a no-trade clause, so I'm not 100% sure about that. I didn't read the contract. But
for Stafford?
Yeah. I don't know if he has any type of thing where he could say where he wants to go, is what I'm trying to say. But what I'm trying to say is, I think the Niners are doing that right now with Jimmy. They're not going to say, oh, yeah, we don't want Jimmy. We're trying to go for Stafford. No, they're going to say, Jimmy, we're good with Jimmy. We're good with Jimmy. We're good. So now, right, even though I don't think anyone's going to trade for him, but you're trying to get something in return.
Look at my boy Roundtree.
Yeah, he's very impressive.
Listen, that kid is good. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I finished. You're good.
Listen, the team is going to try to upgrade if they can. That's the bottom line. Whether it's Watson, whether it's Stafford, whether it's another quarterback, everyone wants to be the first person to say it. I wish I could jump in, but no one's giving me anything with any validity. I said what I had to say a couple shows ago. The team is calling about multiple players. I didn't say that part on air, but I've even told you other stuff and led us to other speculation for what's going on within the division. We just don't know what's happening. We don't know what's happening. But I'm seeing a lot of eyeballs online. I'm seeing a lot of here it comes. I'm seeing a lot of that. The Senior Bowl is on NFL Network only. I did look around. They're going for it on 4th and 1. I like this. The Senior Bowl have a no punting rule still, or is that this? Was that the?
I think they're just playing. I just think they're. What the hell? I'm 1st and 10.
Yeah, he just got the first down.
Oh,
I'm gonna play behind. Don't worry, you got this one. You got this one, buddy.
Yeah.
It's all right. You got this one, man. You got this one. No problem. I don't know who that is. I just saw the Facebook user asking what channel the game was on. I did see a very interesting tweet about the salary cap implications for whatever team gets whichever of these big guys' names who is out there right now, you know? Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up really quick. Sorry, guys. I am also working. Oh, check this out. Looks like we're sponsored by Manscaped this episode, but we're not. But we're not. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, I gotta wait 4 more minutes and I can clock out. Okay. There was some other news that we did. We just did a breaking news video. Was that yesterday?
Yeah, we touched on the additions to the staff, on the assistant offensive line coach, and adding the new the new secondary coach and passing game coordinator.
Butch Barry.
Yeah, Butch Barry. He has he's been pretty successful wherever he was. He was successful in Green Bay, successful in Tampa Bay, successful at the University of Miami. Always was an assistant offensive line coach. So, maybe he could teach something to these guys with, combination of him and Forrester. They could work on new techniques or new schemes up front for these linemen to try to improve the offensive line play as a unit. But time will tell. We got to get these guys in camp. Hopefully everything goes with the COVID. We go back to normalcy as far as football, but we don't know yet. But he was the one addition yesterday. The second addition was former Detroit defensive coordinator. Put the graph up, Mike.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I apologize. I was looking at – I got another alert from Josina Anderson. My bad.
Okay. So yesterday, per Field Yates, the 49ers hired former Lions defensive coordinator Corey Undlin as passing game specialist and secondary coach. Like I said yesterday, this could spell the end of Tony Odin in San Francisco. Mr. Odin's going to come in and be the full secondary coach. He will work with Bullocks, the safety coach that was retained from last year. And you add him, Olden, you add Betcher, the senior defensive assistant, you add Darryl Tapp. They're adding new pieces to this defense. So I, in my opinion, expect to see a different looking defense. As you see here, per Field Yates, Udlin was on Philly staff when new defensive coordinator DeMeco Ryans was playing with the Eagles in 2015. I also believe he was on the staff when DeMeco Ryans was in Houston as well. Not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that he was there as an assistant. But basically, one thing about this guy, he always started at the bottom as a quality control. He worked his way up, always to defensive back coach. He got his crack last year to be a defensive coordinator. Didn't work well in Detroit. It is what it is. But I do like what DeMeco Ryans is doing. He's adding people that he knows, he's familiar with. I do think there's going to be a change in the scheme. And what? What does that say, that breaking news?
I don't know what you're talking about. I stopped looking at stuff because you wanted me to put – oh, wait, let me see. Here we
breaking
go.
News just heard the Saints. Thank you for the $5 contribution, Denise. It's greatly appreciated. Breaking news, just heard the Saints have now sent an offer for Stafford. Am I the only one that is not going to be happy if we stay pat?
No. The answer to the last part, no.
No, absolutely not, because, we don't know if this is true. We don't know if this is just like agents trying to draw, he's asking the team to draw interest so the Niners could pay a little more. But you got to real, and you know what? That's 100% Jay Eli. the Saints have no money, so I don't know how they're going to trade for him. They're $95 million over the salary cap. So I kind of think this could be smoke and mirrors to try to get more value in return.
Drew Brees has a year or two left on his salary on his contract, right?
Yeah, but Drew Brees isn't making $95 million a year.
But my point is, if and when Drew Brees retires, that money becomes available. So
which I think is like 20-something million.
Right, but that's instant relief on the cap. I'm not saying it's getting them back in the black. I'm just saying instant relief the moment he retires, right?
Yeah.
So that their salary cap hell is a big hoax. It's not really as bad as it looks. It's bad, but it's not as bad as it looks. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So I mean, we talked about this a little bit. We talked about it more like, between me, Mike, and in our group chat. I really wish I would like to know. I really wish I could find out how much they value Matt Stafford. And if they have a high value on him, and this is truly their one target, their top target, because we all know Watson would be awesome.
Well, that's the Josina Anderson tweet here. Meanwhile, interesting to hear personal opinions. She did. I wanted to make sure I didn't say personnel, but it says personal opinions around the league. All right. AFC exec just now on Deshaun Watson. It will be hard for me to see them letting the QB out of there. It's a shame they allowed it to get this bad. Looks like Watson is serious. He may have to hold out all of 2021. We've seen it happen before. Other players have held out, and they get released. We've seen it as recent as Bell, and it worked out for him. He got a solid contract later on. Now, you want to talk about his play and all that stuff, that's different. But Bell is on his way to the Super Bowl right now, and he got the money that he was looking for. So we have seen players do this. It's something that's going to happen. Who else did it? Carson Palmer was a full season holdout at one point. Didn't he throw a hissy fit one year? I'm pretty sure that was Carson Palmer, right?
Probably, yeah.
So, I mean,
he had a rough go in Cincinnati.
Who's the quarterback right now? Who is that?
Who's in for what?
Well, it's fourth down now, but the American team. That was Mond?
Yes, I think so.
He is so bad. He is so bad. All right. I'm sorry. I'm all over the place right now. And this is what happens when we get a show where we're just having fun and just relaxing and chilling, guys. Let me see what else we got here. Let me get back to.
Oh, fuck, that hurt. That hurt.
What'd you do?
I just leaned right on it. Jabril Cox picked off the pass. Did it hit the now bounced. Never mind. Disregard.
Oh, wait. You just saw the punt?
Yeah, the punt. I saw the punt.
I'm ahead of you now?
I got Jabril Cox with his back towards me in the huddle.
No, it's 1st and 10. They snap the ball.
I'm 2nd and 10. I'm ahead of you.
Oh, shut up. Shut your face hole.
So just real quick before we lose track, I think the Niners need to make a decision. If this is their true target, I think they need to do what they need to do to get him. I don't think they should be passive because I'm going to tell you right now, there's a GM sitting in Los Angeles, California, who runs the Rams and is one aggressive son of a bitch. And he will eat Goff's contract to get this guy away from San Francisco. And if this is the guy that Sean McVay really wants. I know people are going to say, yeah, it's impossible to trade his deal. I understand that it is, but you got to understand something.
It's impossible to trade. It's not impossible to release him.
Yeah, there are teams right now with ample amount of cap space that do need a quarterback. The Colts is one of them. So if you pick up the phone and say,
Indianapolis,
Chris Ballard, I have Jared Goff. I'm willing to send you 2 second-round picks to take his contract, and that's the deal. You don't have to give me nothing in return. So what do? They trade him with the 2 second-round picks. Now, guess what? Here comes Matt Stafford to the Rams. Mm-hmm. Now, I also think that this could be smokescreen due to the fact that the current GM of the Detroit Lions was previously the vice president of player personnel for the Los Angeles Rams. They could be doing each other a favor. One hand washes the other. There is strong ties between the two clubs. But
you have to look at who's benefiting from it, right? So if the guy in I was going to say St. Louis. The guy in Los Angeles with the Rams is trying to drive up the price against his divisional opponent, then that's where the favor comes from. Because agents don't care about draft compensation. You have to remember that when they're talking about driving up the price for a player, right? This is a conversation that we had previously, so I'm sorry to be repeating it to you, but agents don't give a damn about the compensation for their player to go from one team to the other. If you're an agent, you live off of one thing, and that is percentage of contracts. That is it. If you want to trade for Matt Stafford and it's going to be 3 first-round picks, then fine. That's cool. You want to trade for Matt Stafford and it's going to be a future 7th. Fine, that's cool. It doesn't change anything to Matt Stafford, and it doesn't change anything to the agent. The only thing that matters to them is the compensation as far as a new contract or continuing the contract that they have. Okay? That is it. So all the stuff about, they're going to drive up the price and all that stuff, who benefits from that? It's only the clubhouses. That is it. That is all that benefits from it. So just keep that in mind when you guys are watching and listening to all these different rumors. The question you should be asking yourself is, who benefits from whatever it is I'm reading or hearing right now? Sorry to cut you off, buddy. Go ahead.
No, you're perfectly fine. It's no big deal. Listen, it's a freestyle show. We're just talking. So back to what I was saying. I honestly think if they feel that this is their guy, and like I said before, I know everybody wants Watson, all right? But we got to look at something right now. If we trade for Watson with 40 free agents coming up this offseason at key spots that are looking to make decent to big salaries, you're giving up 3 first-round picks. So now you don't have the ability to backfill. And I'm not saying he's not worth it, but with our situation in our current roster, with so many free agents and so many openings, that would be the dream move, yes. But the smart move, in my opinion, would go after Stafford. Stafford's 32. He's going to be 33. I think we can get 4 to 5 years out of this kid. We do have a great run game. We do have a good defense, something that he's never had in Detroit. So I understand he's thrown for all these yards, but when he comes to San Francisco, he's not going to have to shoulder the load. He's going to have a run game. He's going to have a play action pass. Defenses are going to have to respect him because he could throw deep. Defenses are going to have to respect him because he is accurate. Defenses are going to have to respect him because he can throw a 10-yard dig and not miss it. If this is the guy, I think the Niners need to do what they do, need to do what it takes to get their guy. That's just the way I feel.
I'm not opposed to the Niners giving up whatever it takes to get whoever they feel is their guy, including multiple first-round picks if their guy is Watson. If that's their guy, you go and you get the guy.
Yeah, if they feel that that's the guy. But I do think, listen, who wouldn't want Deshaun Watson? But like I said, you got to look at the situation of this roster. There's a lot of openings. And if we forfeit 3 first-rounders,
then what?
Yes, we're getting a quarterback that probably could take us to the Super Bowl for $10 million in 2021. But guess what? His salary breaks almost $40 million next year, and the year after that.
Yeah, but I think we start to get a little too attached to the value, this perceived value of a first-round pick. And I'm saying we as in all of us, right? Like, oh, we can't give up that much. That's way too much. That's way too much. Well, who have been our first-round picks so far?
No, you're 100% right. I agree with what you're saying. I know where you're going with this. But the thing is, my issue is the openings. We could use those first-round picks to fill some openings. Okay. But if we trade for him, more than likely we're going to make a strong run in the playoffs, right?
Oh, yeah.
If not the Super Bowl. So those picks are going to be in the latter part of the draft. But from what I'm hearing, like you see all these reports on all over Twitter and all these, I think Josina Anderson said something. I think Schefter said something about what the package possibly could be to get Deshaun Watson. They're looking for players, plus those 3 picks.
And we have players to send.
Huh?
We have players to send.
Yeah, but I mean, in my opinion, I would not send Nick Bosa. I'm sorry.
But what if they said, give me George Kittle?
Well, that's something that they would have to consider and talk about.
George Kittle and 2 first-round picks. That's it, and you can have Deshaun Watson. Would you do it?
I don't know, because I don't want to send the wrong message to that locker room. These guys were hand selected and built by this administration, and now by making a move like that, you're just saying, oh, well, you know what? Yeah, thank you for everything. Goodbye. We don't need you now because I want to get a quarterback.
Okay. All right. So this is what drives me crazy with George Kittle. We talk about Jimmy Garoppolo. We need to move on. Well, when Jimmy Garoppolo was in there, the Niners win, right? What is he, 25-9 as a starter or something? Whatever the stat is, okay? But then they say, well, Jimmy's always injured. Well, so is George Kittle now, right?
Yeah.
So, okay. So you got one injured guy, but we all of a sudden, we're going to ignore it for George Kittle. We have a guy who suddenly developed the drops in George Kittle. We got a guy who can't stay healthy. Like, I understand that George Kittle is really, really special, but if a team comes to you with Deshaun Watson and they say 2 firsts in Kittle, I think you would be silly to not do that.
Here's the thing, and we talked about this on a previous show, and I know for a fact because one of us on our panels didn't like what I had to say. I'm not saying you, but my issue is if you look at Kittle's 3 injuries, number 1, the shoulder, clearly a contact situation of him playing all out with his hair on fire, looking for contact instead of trying to get away from it. Yes, that's something he needs to change, try to change in his game.
He can't change that in his game.
The issue is his last 2 injuries were from poorly thrown passes by a quarterback that hung him out both times. And due that those passes were so bad and so high, and he tried to make a play,
yeah, he
got hurt.
But Matt Stafford, Deshaun Watson, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, nobody is going to always place a perfect pass. There's always going to be bad passes in the league.
I understand that. But the majority, the percentage of that happening with those quarterbacks that you just named are a lot lower than the quarterbacks that we have on our roster.
Okay, that's fair. That is fair. That is fair.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
When you have a good quarterback, they throw to a spot.
Mm-hmm.
We saw it once with Jimmy. Once, and that was with Emmanuel Sanders in his first year as a 49er.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I just want to say something, and I'm not trying to be like I feel sorry for Jimmy with his torn ACL, but Jimmy Garoppolo is a different quarterback since he tore that ACL. He's a statue in the pocket. When you have an offensive line that isn't great at pass protecting, you have to be able to work the pocket, maneuver, slide, shuffle, stand, like step up into the pocket, even step up and then go to your left to create extra time for a route to come open. Because I don't care what defensive back you have on your team, you can't cover anybody for that long. And that is the difference between our quarterback play and somebody like a Kyler Murray, a Russell Wilson, a quarterback that can maneuver that pocket. So that one or two wide receivers can make an extra move and create separation to make a throw. That's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy's a statue. Nick Mullins a statue. Beathard can maneuver a little bit and will run, but I just think their decision is made because we all agreed that's the reason why they didn't restructure this deal. So they are looking.
You and I agreed to that. Yes. I won't say we all. There's more than just the two of us. And
I'm saying me.
Okay, yeah.
So they didn't restructure it. So now that means they tell me they're looking for better options. And in my opinion, I think Stafford would be the right guy. I do. Now, if they feel that that's the right guy, you don't get outbid by anybody. You get him. And if it costs you something, it costs you something. You got to be aggressive. I know people knock John Lynch for the whole deal between Oakland and Khalil Mack. A report came out saying, guess what? The Niners' offer was better than the Bears. That's not John Lynch's fault. They didn't want to do business between the two Bay Area teams at the time. So I just feel they need to make they can't let, if this is the guy, they can't let this opportunity slip. That's just the way. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah. But all of a sudden, Tony, it doesn't seem like there's as many. It doesn't seem like there's as many options at the quarterback position as we initially thought. The Texans are saying, yeah, he's unhappy. That's fine, but he ain't going nowhere. If that's true, and they hold those powers, we started oh, he's Deshaun Watson and da-da-da-da. Listen, we know how NFL contracts work. The players get screwed every time. We know that for a fact. Listen, you want to know if an NFL contract is worth it? There's only two things. There's only two things that show value in an NFL contract. One, a player overperforms and the team says, yeah, they were worth the money. That's one option. Okay? The other option is the player is not worth it and the team lets him go. Those are the only two options there. The fact that they don't want to let him go means that they know they have a good player for good value. It's going to be really hard to get out of that contract. They cannot and will not just let Deshaun Watson go. Then there was the talks with Aaron Rodgers. Well, the Packers have come out and said, yeah, he's not going anywhere. Why would we get rid of Aaron Rodgers? So Aaron Rodgers was supposed to be one of these guys that was on the trading block also, and now it's like, yeah, no, it's not. He's staying here. You want us to get rid of the MVP for the 2021 season? I don't think so. So now he's gone, right? So that takes us back to Watson. To Stafford. If Stafford's the only guy, all of a sudden the window's closing now, right? The only guy that is being talked about publicly. He's the only guy that's being talked about publicly. So now what? Now all of a sudden you're bidding against every team that needs a quarterback. You're bidding against the Tampa Bays. Imagine if he goes to Tampa Bay. Imagine if he goes to the Saints. Imagine if he goes to the Patriots. You get what I'm saying? Like, these are teams that feel like they're just a quarterback away from continuing to stay competitive or being competitive again. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. Newman's in the game right now.
Oh, it's my boy. It's my boy. I want to see how he does here. Jamie Newman, if you guys are watching now, that this is the quarterback. If I had this offseason my way, we acquire Stafford, we make sure he's here for 3 or 4 years, and then we draft Newman in the 2nd or 3rd round, and we let him sit underneath Stafford, and then we make that transition.
I think you might be able to get him a little lower.
Well, I know the reports from this week were that he did not have – you guys have to remember he came from a spread offense. He actually looked all right under center there, Tony. Did you see that?
Yeah.
You saw that first play? It's the best I saw him look so far.
Yeah.
He struggles from under center because he comes from that spread offense. He's always in the shotgun. It was something that he's really, really struggled to work with, but he's accepted the challenge and he takes it head on. This guy can do everything physically you want done with the ball and with his legs. Everything. This guy does it all. He's just got to learn to be a pro-style quarterback. Not a bad snap and turn for the handoff there on second down. Takes it to a 3rd and 1 on my screen. Tony's going to give it away for me now. Here he comes. Mark Espinoza, thank you for the contribution. He says here, Tony, when do we make this trade? Do we wait till post June 1st because of Jimmy's out? By then, it would probably be too late.
No. If they're going to make this trade, it's going to be done. It's going to be agreed upon now because there is a date where if Stafford is still a Detroit Lion, the team is responsible for a portion of his salary. So I think this is going to be an ASAP deal. And of course, once the league year becomes open and official, that's when it becomes an official deal.
March 17th is when it can become official. They can agree in principle whenever they want.
Yeah.
Under center, here he goes. Ooh, he didn't get it. Damn it. That was 3rd down, though, right? Let's do it again. Let's go for it again. Are they going for it on 4th?
Wait till you see the 4th down play.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no. Wait. It was a bad snap.
Oh, no. I want to see my guy. He didn't even try to throw the ball.
Yeah, so back to the debate of the quarterbacks. You know how we feel. I mean, we spoke it as much as we possibly could. I see Facebook.
Oh, my God.
Facebook user. Guys, put your names when you're on Facebook so we know who you are. Facebook user at 334 put, Lions will trade him before the Super Bowl. That is the new rumor, that the deal will be done before the Super Bowl.
That actually came from Rappaport.
Huh?
Rap said that. Ian Rappaport said expect the trade before the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that's what this guy just wrote.
Mm-hmm.
So there is that rumor going around saying that it's going to be done. Now, I mean, to be honest, it's getting very frustrating, and I'm tired of refreshing my Twitter feed because all you see is like, oh, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, and then you just die down. And then it's, oh, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. But finally, I got to be honest with you, you're hearing tweets from the professionals, from like the Rappaports, the Schefters saying that, like,
Yeah, but Tony, you're hearing conflicting reports. The big guys are saying we can't link anything definitive with the Niners and Stafford.
No, I understand that. But before that, they weren't even saying that anything was pending or anything was close. Terry Odell, thank you for the $5 contribution.
Right now, they're just acknowledging that Stafford wants out of Detroit. They haven't linked him to any teams yet, except the Rams. The only professional one that I saw was from the Rams, linking him to a team.
Yeah, but the coach came out and said something. He posted something saying that it's getting close. The deal will be done soon. Campbell. This is coming from Campbell, the head coach of the Lions. So, you don't know what to believe. You don't know what the hell's going on. It's just like, I don't know.
All right, this is the comment that Terry Odell wanted to make with his contribution here. Jamie Newman is the third and develop him. Oh, he's saying take him in the third and develop him and have a ceiling of Dak Prescott. I disagree here. I like the third. If we can get him there, we can get him there. Great. I think his ceiling is higher than Dak Prescott's. I think
he is very raw.
Oh, what for sure. But we're talking about ceiling.
No, I'm just saying it's gonna take a while to get him where he should be.
So right now we're in this purgatory, right? Where I want to rewind you guys to the beginning of this offseason. And it was George Kittle's deal is imminent. And yet people tweeting this out 3 weeks before George Kittle deal was finalized, right? It's coming. I just got a call. George Kittle deal is done. I just got a call. George Kittle deal is done. Next week, I just got a call. You remember when everybody was going out there and just saying it's going to be announced in a few hours, going to be announced in a few days. It was something that people were literally saying every day, every hour until somebody appeared to be right. Then Grant Cohn had the stones to go on the air on his platform and even put up numbers. Numbers were way off, but he did say that you're going to hear it on this weekend, and that's when we finally got it. So, everyone's going to say, oh, I heard, because they feel like it's an imminent thing that's happening, right? Everyone knows the Niners are looking to upgrade over Jimmy Garoppolo. Everyone knows that Stafford wants out of the Lions. It seems like an obvious match. That's just how it looks, right? It looks like that's the obvious match. So that could be the thing. Let me ask you this question though, Tony. Is Ryan Fitzpatrick an upgrade over Jimmy Garoppolo?
Ooh, I don't know.
I know. That's why I'm asking you now. I'm asking you, and I want you can put all the thought in it you want to. Think about it and let me know what you honestly think. I see them as very similar quarterbacks because there's times where Fitzpatrick looks lights out, and there's times where Fitzpatrick looks like, okay, let's bring Tua back in. You know what I'm saying? So I think they're kind of the consistency are very similar, but I do think the progressions of reading a defense, the skill set of throws, the ability to make a throw, I think that's where Fitz could have a little bit difference. Good job. Did you see your boy Darby?
What?
You see your boy Darby? Horrible throw by the quarterback. Stops, turns around. He's either going to get the flag or he's getting the reception.
I missed
Look
it.
at that. Oh man, beautiful play right down the right sideline. That was a veteran move right there. I like that, Darby. That was good.
I think that Fitzpatrick could attempt to put the team on the offense on his shoulders and make the throws where Jimmy needs the scheme so he can make the throws or attempt to make the throws. Mark Espinoza, you want to pull that up, Mike? A $4.99 contribution from Mark Espinoza. Thank you very much. I was referring to Jimmy. What are we going to do? What are we going to do with him if we do agree on a trade before March?
We can't cut him yet, and no team will want his salary.
All right, so no, we can listen. You can have Stafford and Jimmy on the roster at the same time. All right, Jimmy has to be cut or off the roster by a certain date for his salary cap number to drop down to the 2.8. And the Niners are fully capable of doing that, and that's not when the cutoff is for the team to be under the salary cap. So it wouldn't put us under any added pressure at all. All right, and you got to keep in mind the Niners did put out that report that they are okay and they're content with Jimmy Garoppolo being their quarterback heading into the next season. Why do they do that? It's because they want to say, hey, by the way, we're cool. We're all right. We don't need Stafford. We don't need Watson. We've been to the Super Bowl with this guy healthy. We know what he does when he's healthy. We'll be right back. We'll be right back. Oh, you want him now? Now you want him? Okay, well, now we're talking. And all of a sudden, the Niners have just the slightest bit of leverage, just the slightest bit, if that's what they're trying to show people. Tony, what do you think?
I agree with you. And I do feel that
This kid from out of there, man.
if they can't trade him, they cut him, and that's it. Either way, they're able to move on for him. And again, this is why they did not touch his deal. That's all I'm going to say. I know I repeat myself, but there's reasons why they held back until they have made their decision.
Mm-hmm.
So D. Philpott 49. Tony Fitz will run when he needs to, and he's accredited. Certified. I can't even see. That's how fucking tired I am. He's certified gunslinger. Yeah, no, you're 100% right. You're 100% right, Philpott. But the thing is, the consistency. There's plays where he looks phenomenal, and then there's plays where you're like, what is he doing?
Right. Yeah.
But arm talent, I think he can make the throws without depending on the scheme to make those throws easy and open for him. Facebook user. I just think the Lions are pushing up the market for Matt. And right now it looks like they hold all the cards with other available QBs supposedly. Dwindling, especially with so many teams needing a decent, reliable quarterback. I just think if we really are going to move off Jimmy, which I think we will, we need to be all in. Vince, I agree with you.
Yep.
1,000,000%.
Yep.
1,000,000%.
I just wanted to put that up there because it was a really long message.
I definitely agree with what you just typed in that message. 100%. And now the problem is, if they legit decide not to trade Deshaun Watson and say, oh, well, too bad, you're sitting out. That takes one guy off the market. We all think Aaron Rodgers is not getting traded. So who's left?
That's
Sam Darnold. You have Matt Stafford
and Jared Goff.
Jared Goff, and potentially in the right scenario, Dak Prescott.
And MNS, that's what he means here, is that the veterans that we were all excited about just a week or two ago, their teams are suddenly saying they're not going anywhere. That's what he means by the opportunity in the window dwindling. You want to get a proven veteran that can elevate your team. There's only one or two of them that are out there right now. And I think that's what he means by the dwindling thing. Yes, no one has made a trade yet, but there's no one available anymore either. Right?
Nate Shad just tweeted a message. Tony, if we get Stafford, how much cap space? Fuck, I missed it. How much cap space do we save? I think it's anywhere between $4 and $5 million we make up in cap space from Jimmy's contract. Which in the situation that we're in, $4 or $5 million is a lot of money. $4 or $5 million could bring you in Alex Mack on a 2-year deal with the first year $4 million or $5 million, and the second year could go up to $8 million. That addresses a big need for this offensive line. So now you get a quarterback as an upgrade, and now you have a center to work with that quarterback who knows this system and could help the quarterback transition into this system, which, by the way, Mack knows all the protections and all the line calls. So that's going to help Stafford. It's not going to hurt him. So There's so many different variants that this can go. It's I don't know. It's crazy. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
You ain't lying, bro. You ain't lying. Now, Joe Staley just tweeted out something that I'm really excited to share with you guys.
Go.
I'm gonna tell you exactly what it was in a second.
No problem, Nate. Send more questions. I'll answer them.
Joe Staley says Spencer Brown and someone else both looking great so far in the Senior Bowl, continuing what they've done all week. Just improve every day. Love working with these guys. Boom, baby. Come on, Tony. You're not going to give me nothing on that, man?
No, you got it.
You share the tweets with me with the people bigging up your guys from the Senior Bowl.
Listen. You got to understand something. I'm starting to dwindle down now.
Oh, you're crashing. No,
Yeah,
come on, man.
Things are starting to look blurry.
Oh, man. Guys, let me tell y'all. So, listen, I had a funeral service to go to this morning, right?
Oh, fuck.
So I'm at the funeral service now. Due to COVID, what they do is they make you like kind of stand in the line outside, and then one person goes in, okay, and the next person goes in, like you go down the line like that, okay. And so we have to go in, but it was for a coworker, a coworker's family member. We just went to go show some support, and so we're waiting in the car because when we got inside, we didn't see the coworker. So we're sitting in the cars and we're all like huddled together, talking and everything. Tony calls me. And I answer the phone naturally, but it's in the car speakers. He goes, "Yo, what's up, bro? Don't even ask me how I'm still awake right now." Mad loud, mad energetic at a freaking funeral.
Oops.
My man was wired. Here I am, like looking for the audio, like to turn the volume down real quick.
Oops.
My man was live, man. He was live, bro. I was happy for you. You know, you went out, you did some more things today. You know, you had a good day, bro.
Yeah.
My man's like, yeah. What's up, bro? I did not wear a Manscaped shirt to a funeral service, man. God. No, I did not. I came home. I was working this morning, believe it or not. So right after the funeral, oh. How did he hold on to that ball? He almost threw his knee out. That did not look good for my guy, man. Did you see that play?
No, I'm sorry.
You're not watching Newman at quarterback, bro?
I'm trying to read the chat. I'm watching you. I'm looking this way. I see my phone.
My man
Green
loaded up to make a
Hold
throw.
on, can I answer Green Mobster real quick? Where'd it go? Hey, Tony, if Kyle and John stick with Jimmy and the 49ers go under 500 again, are there grumblings about their futures here? That is a very good question.
And we've discussed this before. Not on here. What the freak?
I don't think so. Because I think if they don't make a trade for a Watson, Aaron Rodgers, Sam Darnold, Stafford, Jared Goff, whatever freaking quarterback it is now, if they don't make a trade for him, I honestly think they will definitely draft one. So, my opinion, I would rather go with the Stafford route and then draft one where you could groom and let him sit for 3 years, and then he could take over for when Stafford's done. I think if they draft somebody and it doesn't work out because of Jimmy, and then they try to force this kid in, and it doesn't work or whatever, I don't think they're in trouble. I don't, because they got 6-year extensions, both of them. No, 5-year extensions, both of them.
Is the Senior Bowl site down for you?
Yeah, I can't get on it because I was trying to look up the roster.
This is pissing me off, man.
So back to what I was saying, I think they're safe, and I think Jed knows. And I think Jed saw a lot when we went to the Super Bowl, okay, what he was able to do with Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, guys, I just feel that there was a reason why he stopped throwing versus Minnesota. There was a reason. And there's a reason why they ran the ball so damn much versus Green Bay. Yes, it was working. I do understand that. But you're going into a Super Bowl tight game. You're going into the big game. Wouldn't you want to get your offense in rhythm and get that quarterback flowing, get the reps instead of just running the ball? That I honestly think, and just credit to Javi with his podcast, they had Joe Staley on, and Joe Staley flat out said it. Kyle kind of took the ball out of Jimmy's hands.
That's not what he didn't say kinda at all. He made it very clear.
Okay. Well, Kyle took the ball out of Jimmy's hands.
He was very, very just like he took all room for mistakes of
so
that.
When you hear a Pro Bowl captain, left tackle say that, that's gotta raise a red flag to me, to my opinion. But I'm not going to beat it to a dead horse. Spontaneous comments. I hate how both Lynch and Shanahan don't like making big moves. They're too scared of okay. They do make big moves. Have the big moves worked out for them? No.
That's why I posted this up here. I wanted to know your opinions on this because this is a common thought amongst the 49er fan base, and I, for one, don't get it. I don't get how people.
All right, let's play this situation out. The year we drafted Bosa, okay. If what's the coach of the Arizona Cardinals?
Bruce Arians. I'm sorry, Cliff Kingsbury.
If Kingsbury was not the coach of the Arizona Cardinals, Nick Bosa would have been the number 1 overall pick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what did the 49ers do? They said, we can't chance this. We need a pass rusher. They go out. They send a second-round pick to Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
They bring in D Ford to give him a 5-year, $85 million extension contract, right? That's a big move. You're tying up big dollars. You're giving up a second-round pick, which at the time was the second-round pick in the draft, the second pick in the second round, sorry. And then what did they do? They went out and signed Quan Alexander. Reuben Foster didn't work, right? We need a linebacker. Boom. They go out and sign him.
Where's the offensive line? I'm sorry. I'm going to shut up.
They drafted Fred Warner. So they do make big moves. Granted, their big moves, didn't pan out the way they want. But they do show the ability. But they do show the ability to go out and say, we're going to try something. Like I just said before, they were in big time with Khalil Mack, and the report was they gave a better offer than Chicago. But the problem was they didn't want to do business with the 49ers, the Oakland Raiders. So you can't knock or discredit John Lynch for that. He did his best, right? So I hope that answers your question. This team moves up and down the board just as much as any team in the draft. We've seen it time after time. We've seen it their first freaking year with this team. All right? They moved down. They picked up their guy that won, Solomon Thomas, even though he wasn't the guy. But whatever, it is what it is.
Even outside of the draft, they go after big free agents. People never thought we were going to get Richard Sherman.
Correct.
Right? Wouldn't take no for an answer. Like they do what they have to do. It's a misconception when you think of one or two players that we lost on that we were trying to get. The Niners looked at Tom Brady, but they didn't get him, and Tom Brady's in the Super Bowl. Well, the Niners are also trying to get sustained success here. They're not going out to get guys on a 1-year rental.
Yes. So the scary thing about this right now is I know I'm probably going to get ripped for saying this, but if you place Matt Stafford on this roster in 2020, we make the playoffs with the injuries. With all the injuries, I think this team could be, I'm not saying number 1 seed, first round bye. No, I'm saying we would have made the playoffs. That is how poor the quarterback play was last season. Okay. So clearly, I think Kyle and John identified their major need and they see what's holding back this team. When you have to have a coach come up with 3 different schemes for 3 different quarterbacks, that is a major issue. I see John V's up here. I just want to get to Mark Espinoza one second because he sent this earlier. Leave it up, Mike. I can read it from here. Tony, is Jimmy worth keeping in your opinion? Saving on the picks and assets we may give up, but we wouldn't. I can't even fucking read. We wouldn't probably have the most expensive bridge quarterback in NFL history. Is it worth it? No. I can't see with what he's making. I can't see them keeping him as a bridge quarterback. A bridge quarterback does not make $27 million a year.
Now you're talking. The kind of money that Jimmy Garoppolo makes, you have to know game in and game out what you're going to get. I'm not saying that he's got to be the best because he's not getting paid for
he's got to make throws. And if you watch that show 3 shows ago, when we put that damn picture up on the 3rd and 5 in the Super Bowl, that could have put us up potentially 3 scores, 17 points.
He's got to be consistent. That's
you
what
got to make that throw.
$27 million. You're paying for consistency at the quarterback position. That's what you're paying for. We are not getting our money's worth. It is not worth it. That's it. It's not. And look at this. I know it's not what you want to talk about. You don't even have to respond.
Oh, please, no. Don't say that.
You don't have to respond at all. But
John V. He put the contribution up. I want to get to him. Danny, I'm sorry. I just can't. I don't know.
He says, fellas, my biggest fear.
It's a question. I will answer it. I don't think Goff is Kyle's guy. I don't. I think for Kyle to beat the Rams with Goff playing with Nick Mullins at quarterback, that says a lot. I know our defense played well, but I just feel I don't know, and not at that cap space, that cap slot. I'm sorry. John V. 1999 contribution. Thank you very much. Happy birthday to someone in the family. I don't know if it's yours or somebody else's. Fellas, my biggest fear is in all of this craziness is Lynch's hesitation to finish big deals. That's 50-50 on.
What are you? Okay.
Hold on. I fear he hesitates in fear of spending too much capital for a veteran QB that benefits the team and ultimately costs us Stafford.
Stafford's deal is already done. He's got time left on it, so you don't have to worry about bringing him in here and trying to redo his contract right away. Stafford, his value as soon as you trade for him. That's number one.
But what I think he's trying to say is, I think in his head, he thinks that the Detroit is using the Rams to try to raise their value. And I think if he stands firm and says, no, they're trying to screw me, they're trying to get more out of me, and he plays that stubbornness role, potentially someone could come in and sweep him out off his feet.
Detroit literally cannot use the Rams as leverage in this specific situation. They physically can't. They don't have higher draft capital. They did better than us. They made the postseason. They're picking in the mid-20s. We're picking at 12. We're right outside the top 10.
Well, they don't have a first-round pick this year, so if anything, it would have to be.
That's what I'm saying. But that's my point. They can't out-leverage the Niners in this situation. It is physically not possible. So if we don't get Matt Stafford and somehow the Rams do, all of a sudden, heads are going to roll if we don't make the Super Bowl. That's just the way it is.
But that's what he's asking you. Is it because he's hesitating?
I don't think he's hesitating. I think they're waiting to see if there's other offers. They know they have until March 17th. There's no rush to get anything done now. That's what like it's so weird, right? Like everyone wants to say, yeah, right now, happening right now, this very moment.
Well, I got to be honest with you, Mike. I would really love it to happen right now because now you have your number one need done. Okay, you could bring him in. You could try to give him a 1-year extension on the back end of this deal. Give him a cash signing bonus up front, stretch it over the length of the deal, and lower his cap space a little more so you can get a little more money in relief to spend on players. So that's the reason why I want them to start coming up with their game plan now. As long as they solidify their number one need, I think, well, their number one upgraded need, the number one need that needs to be upgraded. Yeah? Nah. I know Trent Williams, the left tackle spot, is a big hole. But I just think, and Barrett with no corner, I just think they need to solidify one. Then once that happens, then they could start budgeting and start figuring out how to move money and flip deals, even potentially restructuring Stafford's.
Here's the thing. Let's do this again. Let's hit rewind on this, okay? I'm pissed that it's halftime and the offensive line didn't protect for Jamie Newman at all. for the 2 drives that he had. That pisses me off, by the way. Let's do this again. Tony, what was the biggest trade? What was the biggest trade that happened for the 49ers under the John Lynch regime? And there's been some good ones. So let's just talk about it. What's the biggest trade that's happened so far? You've got the D Ford trade.
You got D Ford, Trent Williams, Emmanuel Sanders.
Trent Williams, Sanders, Buckner.
The Buckner trade, yes. You're talking about like trading off the roster?
Either way. What's the biggest trade that happened since they've been here? I think it's the Buckner one. You trade all pro players.
I know where you're going with this.
Right? You trade an all-pro player. That to me, that's the biggest trade that's happened. Emmanuel Sanders, not an all-pro player. D Ford, not an all-pro player. In fact, people scoffed at you for what you gave up for a guy who can't stay healthy. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the biggest trade that this team has made under this regime, in my opinion, it definitely wasn't Capri Bibbs, right? It was Trent Williams was a big name, but that wasn't the biggest trade. It was the DeForest Buckner trade. All-pro player, first-round pick compensation, da-da-da-da-da. Okay. Tony, you and I know that trade was agreed upon when?
At the Combine.
During the Combine. No one heard a word about it. Not a peep until they announced it on March 18th. You know what March 18th is? It's the first day of the year that year. The first day of the new league year.
Well, it's similar to what the Trent Williams deal was. They knew Joe Staley was retiring. They had that deal lined up. Why do you think they passed on Tristan Wirfs?
And okay, and only 3 people mentioned that the fact that Joe Staley wasn't coming back. 2 of them were on this show. 2 of them were on this show saying Joe Staley's not coming back. Don't be surprised if the Niners go to make a move for a tight end, for a tackle. You understand what I'm saying?
I actually said that right after the game.
That's my point. But it wasn't talked about. It wasn't a whisper. It wasn't a rumor because they knew that means that it would drive up the price. The Niners didn't officially announce Staley's retirement until after they acquired Trent Williams, right? My point is this. Everyone wants this announcement to come right now. The new league year is the 17th. They work on stuff all the time during the offseason. The Combine, the Senior Bowl, and any opportunity they get to talk with other GMs and front office members face-to-face or, in person. We can't sit here and act like this has to happen and be announced right now. Because here's what happens. Tony, you are the GM of the 49ers, okay? And I'm sitting here and I'm the Lions. And you call me and you make me your best offer. What's your best offer for Matt Stafford? Tell me anything real quick.
I'll give you a 2 this year.
Uh-huh.
I'll give you a 2 and a 3 this year and a 2 and a 3 next year. A 2 and a 3 this year and 2 3s next year. We'll just
Okay. All right. Boom. Fist bump deal. Boom. We can't announce it until the 17th. All right. All of a sudden, everyone starts tweeting out, the Niners just traded for Stafford. Here's the compensation. Oh, it's a second, a third, and a third. That's it. That's the compensation for the 49ers. Well, all of a sudden, here come the Patriots. Well, shit, I think we got good wide receivers. I think we got good running backs. I think we got the best corner in the league. Hey, Lions. I'll give you a second, a third, and a fourth this year, and I'll give you a first next year. What do the Lions do? The Lions say, hey, you know what? It's a better deal than what I got from the Niners. I'll take that deal instead. This is why when you hear the compensation being announced so early, you got to take it with a grain of salt, guys. You can't sit here and say, oh, well, we need this deal done right now, right? The earlier they announce this deal, the more likely it is to be reneged on. That's my personal opinion. It doesn't make any sense. Now, I do think the Niners are going to get Stafford. I do think they improved this quarterback position this offseason, no matter how you look at it. I'm just not in a rush for them to announce it because Stafford ain't playing today. He's not playing next week. He's not playing next month. He's not playing the next 5 months. You understand what I'm saying? So we got time. There's no need to rush this at all. It's going to happen when it happens, but damn, it's fun to talk about. All right. So let me shut up. Here we go. Here's another contribution here, Tony. This one is from. Did we answer John V's question?
Yeah, the fear of being hesitant about finishing deals.
All right, here you go, man. Trading for Emmanuel Sanders was a big move to help bolster the wide receiver core and to help propel us to the Super Bowl. They make moves. Sometimes they don't work. That's the thing. D Ford was a big move. And if D Ford stayed healthy, he's a double-digit sack guy, and we think John Lynch is a genius. We also think we have the best defensive line in the league. We think that we have the number one defense in the league, and the Niners are going to the pro season and back-to-back seasons. That's what happens if D Ford is healthy, But health is a thing. That's just what it is. That's what it is, And people keep saying that, they gave up the picks to get Trent Williams, and he might not be back, so that didn't make it worth it. Maybe the Niners didn't plan on all these injuries when they traded for him. Okay, that didn't make it worth it. We gave up. Hey, what was the compensation when we traded for Emmanuel Sanders, Tony? Do you remember when the Niners got Emmanuel Sanders?
I think it was I don't remember. I think it was like a 4 and a 5, and then a 5 the next year, maybe.
It was 2 picks, right?
Yeah.
And people said that, you don't give up.
I think they swapped 1 pick, and they got another pick the next year. Well, last year.
You don't give up 2 picks for a guy you don't plan on extending. They're going to extend Emmanuel Sanders. It didn't work. Then insert the next season. You don't give up 2 picks for a tackle that you're not going to extend. Well, all of a sudden, where is this extension for Trent Williams? Where's it at? Guys, things happen. Players come in. They maybe have a change of heart. I'm not saying that Trent Williams isn't coming back, but we can't sit here and say that the team doesn't make big trades because you don't see the results. They do. They go after people. All right? They absolutely do. Trading for Emmanuel Sanders was a big move. Oh, we read that one already. There's another contribution here somewhere.
Yeah, the 14.99 one, I think, from I think Don. Oh man.
Sorry if I'm skipping all the other comments. Here was this one here. Tony, you got that one while I find the next one?
Cheers from SF.
Nah.
Shanahan chokes with any quarterback. Okay. Thanks. I don't think
that's Superman. Is that Superman in the?
I personally don't think he chokes. There's more into a play than just Kyle Shanahan. Not making an excuse for him, but if you go back and watch that play, clearly somebody missed a block, and that was the reason why.
Yeah, it's the reason why it was a sack, fumble.
He was sacked. Kyle's job is to put players in position so they can succeed. He calls a play, he dials it up. The play was there. If someone missed a block, caused a sack. It is what it is. But if we all remember correctly, they did have a big lead, and the defense of the Falcons.
Kyle Shanahan is so damn bad that every Super Bowl he's ever been in, his team had a 2-scored lead going into the fourth quarter.
Listen, I'm not trying to make Kyle seem like he's perfect. Nobody's perfect.
Okay? Oh, Jesus Christ.
But I'm going to tell you this. There's no other guy I want coaching my team right now.
Yeah. No, I understand.
There's no.
I'm with you, bro. I'm with you 100%.
I'm talking about all 31 teams other than the 49ers, obviously. There's not one coach I would say, you know what, I want him over him. No. Sorry. Okay, I'm sorry, John V. Thank you for the $14.99 contribution. Mike, I want to be patient. I swear I just don't want them to drag their feet. And I agree with you. And someone else swoops in and snakes them before we could even see it coming with something much rich than what we could offer. I agree with you.
Much rich, right. But that's why you can't announce the trade compensation now, because teams are allowed to renege. It's not good. You'll destroy a relationship between the two franchises. We've seen that happen, though.
It's not only between the two franchises. I think they would be labeled league-wide.
Yeah, for sure. But
it's kind of like
surprise anybody. Do you think the Patriots give a damn what they feel like they're viewed as league-wide? With Belichick there, look, you either want to work with me or you don't. I don't care. If not, I'm going to keep moving. Like, that's Belichick's mindset. I'm going to take whatever I think is beneficial to my team. If we come to an agreement now and it's announced, there's a difference. I'm saying that we shouldn't sit here and expect to hear compensation now. Nobody, I repeat, nobody with a real source is going to be allowed to tweet out that the trade is done and what the compensation is. Nobody is going to be allowed to do that. Because if it's real, another team comes in and offers a seventh on top of that, their trade compensation is all of a sudden higher. Nobody is allowed to do that. If you have sources, they will tell you what you can and what you can't say. You can't. I'm telling you right now, it's not even February yet, bro. You can't say that when a trade can't be official until March 17th. They're not going to tell you to tell you the trade compensation. So, John V., it's possible that there's something already done. It's possible, but we're not going to hear it until much, much later.
And
unless the Niners drastically overpay and every other team says, yeah, we're not touching that. The Niners come in on some, we're going to give up 2 first-round picks for Matt Stafford. Every other team's going to be like, yeah, no, we're good. With all his injuries, with how old he is, no, we'll give you 1 first, maybe a couple seconds or something, but we're not giving you multiple first-round picks for Matt Stafford. If you overpay, that's when you hear the deal is done this early. And it's not a coincidence that Josina Anderson tweeted out what I said earlier. They're looking for some sucker to overpay. That's why you're not going to hear an announcement. You're not going to sucker John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. We know for a fact that John Lynch is a man of principle. And he'll say, hey, look, we had our picks. We were willing to pay what we thought was good value for that player. He said that about Khalil Mack, right? And then he said what? I was surprised to see the compensation that the Bears gave because our package was better. They put their feet in the sand. And that's it. They drew the line in the sand, and that was it. That's exactly what they're going to do in this situation also. Now, if the Lions want to play hardball, if the Lions want to try to be patient and say, oh, well, let's just see if we can find something else, then that's on the Lions. But they're going to give fair compensation, and hell, they're going to overpay a little bit too. All right, Tony, here's another contribution here. This is from D. Philpott. Oh, we talked about this name before, but he didn't say anything. So now I have to slowly scroll through and see if I see any other comments from him. I don't see anything. Sorry, D. Well, whatever you wanted to say, you can type it now and I'll look for it. Yeah, John, no, I get you, bro. He says, Mike, that's what I fear if the Bears overspend something stupid. Yeah, and it's possible. It's very, very possible, man. But you can't be mad at our team for not overspending. Because, look, if the compensation starts nearing Watson territory, then you hang up the phone and you get on the phone. You know what I'm saying? You hang up with Detroit and you get on the phone with Houston. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta do what you gotta do. You got to think long ball. Matt Stafford's a good guy. He can come in here for 2 or 3 years, and he can make us competitive and make us compete. But Deshaun Watson can come in here for the next 10 years and make us compete. That's why I think that the compensation might be twice as much to get a guy like Watson than what it is to get a guy like Stafford, because they have, Deshaun Watson's twice as long of a lifeline left in the NFL. You know? Those are just my opinions. Tony, you still breathing over there, bro?
Yeah, I'm here. I was listening to your call.
You seeing anything out there in the Twitter sphere?
Twitter sphere, no. I'm looking at the chat right now. Oh, I forgot about that. J10, good point. John Dorsey is with the Detroit Lions as a senior advisor, and he's a snake.
I don't know what this is in reference to. I don't know what we said that was taken as gospel. I think we make it very clear that everything we say is our opinion. So
M&S, I guess you weren't here earlier. I explained why I'm so tired. I've been up since yesterday at 7 a.m. I did Mike,
I'll put you on mute. I got you, buddy. All right, so Tony's on mute, man. Tony's on mute. Let's see. Come on, Mike. Texans are not getting rid of Watson. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. And all I'm saying is, listen, no player is untradeable. There isn't a single player that's out there that can't be touched. But what I'm saying is, if Detroit's like, oh, we want 3 first-round picks, then I think if Detroit says that to you, you hang up the phone with them and you call Houston. If Detroit wants 3 and you even consider it, you should hang up, call Houston, and offer 5 for Watson. That's what I'm saying. Make Houston tell you no. I'm not saying it can happen. I'm just saying that if Detroit starts tripping and they want that kind of overcompensation, then you might as well put that overcompensation to use on someone that's going to be around longer. That's what I'm saying. We saw tweets from Vincent Frank saying that he heard the compensation with a couple of second-round picks. I don't know. All I'm saying is that you're not going to hear an agent tell you that you can say the compensation this early. That's all I'm saying. No source is going to tell you the compensation.
I just got off the phone with my source.
Here we go. Here we go. Breaking news. Here we go. Breaking news.
I'm joking.
No,
so back to what I was saying. I'm joking.
You got to give us some.
No,
you got to give us some breaking news now, bro. Tony's having pasta for dinner.
It's gonna snow.
Oh, let's go.
No. All bullshit aside, I've been up since yesterday, 7 a.m. I got called into work overtime last night from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. And then I had to go I had a tattoo appointment at 10 a.m. And I am here now, still awake. I probably drank about 5 cups of coffee and it's not working. Kind of whatever. Yeah, so that's why I'm kind of like out of it today, but I'm trying my best to sit here and talk 49 football in this freestyle Saturday show. Yeah, so any other questions? We need to thank SF Dre 49ers. Thank you for your $2 contribution. We need to think long-term and draft a quarterback. Yes, I do agree with you 100%. So the one problem here is to get up high. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Mike.
Well, no. I tell you what, you say the part to get up high, say that and then stop, and then I'll bring it back.
To get up high enough to get that quarterback.
No, I meant finish your thought on getting up high. Just don't go forward after that. That's what I meant.
So do you want me to say what I got to say?
Yeah. I want you to say what you got to say about
in order to get up high, to grab a quarterback. I think if you ask me, I think Wilson's the guy from BYU. I think Mac Jones potentially caught their eye. But in order to get up into that range, you're going to have to forfeit picks. It's definitely going to cost you to 12 this year, potentially a 1 next year plus. So with that being said, now you got to sit back and say, all right, listen, is it worth us doing this? Or should we stay pat at 12, try to hold on to 12 this year, trade another type of package to Detroit, bring Stafford in, then we could potentially trade down maybe 3 slots, pick up a couple extra picks, and then we could start filling in the holes, all right? Then later on in the draft, round 3, round 4, you take a flyer on the quarterback and you groom him. You let him sit. And we try to do that. And thank you very much, Joel Osteen, because I mentioned this.
Wait. Bishop is watching our show.
Who?
Joel Osteen, the Bishop.
I don't know. It says Joel Osteen on the chat.
Get the hell out of it. Get the heck out of here. You know who that is, right?
Yeah, Joel Osteen and Creflo Dollar.
Oh, Joel Osteen and Creflo Dollar. Okay, so they're like a super preacher. Okay, never mind.
All right, so I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah. No, I definitely did forget what I was going to say.
It's okay. Look, moving up to get one of the guys in this draft that is the guy is going to take some ammo, right?
Yeah.
But Tony, you and I talked about if we had an hour away, what the Niners would do this offseason.
That's it. Thank you. I got it.
Okay, so I want to ask you now, moving up to get the top guy, the BYU kid, Zach Wilson or whoever it is that you're targeting up there, it might be a little out of reach, right? But there are other things that we could do. Hey, what are you doing? There's other things that you could do this offseason where it will give you a long-term quarterback and a short-term quarterback.
Right.
So what are your thoughts on that, Tony?
Basically, we potentially could have one option as a restricted free agent. We have Josh Rosen, okay? Now, if you think about it, this is a guy that was on no one's 53 or 55. He was sitting on a practice squad, and he was stuck behind Tom Brady and Blaine Gabbert, whatever. So with that being said, I think we offer him a deal to come back and compete as a backup. You go with Matt Stafford, and then you draft another quarterback. All right, so now you have 3 new quarterbacks in-house. One scenario could be is you go with Stafford, and you let Josh Rosen sit and let him learn this system. Let him work and be taught by a coach that knows football, that's an excellent play caller, that has the ability to adjust to the player's strengths and see what he could do. Listen, he's a former first-round pick, all right? He has arm talent. He's been surrounded by poor coaching his whole career, even in college at UCLA. So this is one option, and then drafting another one is another option, and then signing an undrafted free agent is the fourth option. You would bring 4 quarterbacks into camp. So that's one scenario. And me and Mike and I talked about that. And listen, it's a legit thing. You sign him to a 2-year deal. All right, if he shows any promise, you keep him on the roster as the backup. And guess what? Now, let's just say similar to when Steve Young got hurt and Elvis Grbac came in. We all remember that, right? Elvis Grbac shined. Elvis Grbac beat Dallas in Dallas, correct? Yes. Elvis Grbac got traded to the Kansas City Chiefs. We could potentially get picks in return for Josh Rosen if he has the ability to perform and if he has the ability to learn this offense and improve his quarterback play. So George Manzo, I think I kind of answered your question. Ice Snyder, thank you. I'm not the Iron Man, but I try to be. Mike's going now.
Hold on, wait. This DJ Malone comment. Watson wants out of the AFC and away from Mahomes. If this is true, you don't want to touch Watson with a 10-foot pole. You don't want a quarterback that is afraid to compete with another quarterback in his division. I'm sorry. You just don't. I don't care how good you think this guy is. I don't care what you think the ceiling is for someone like that. You don't want him on your roster at all. Not even close. And I'm not saying that that's not the case, but I really, really hope it's not. I didn't see these other contributions in here. Did you read this one already or no?
No. Sean, thank you for the $5 contribution.
He says, what are we worried about with the Lambs? They can't offer a pick until the year 3000. If it gets too rich, trade up and get a rookie that can throw 10 yards.
Can I answer this?
Well, please.
Okay. Why are we concerned about the Lambs? The Lambs have a very aggressive general manager and Les Snead. The guy doesn't give a shit. He flat out cut Todd Gurley with a large chunk of guaranteed salary left. He traded Brandon Cooks to the Houston Texans and had a ton of dead cap space left on that deal. So what makes you think if he really wanted to move on, I'm not yelling at you, Sean, I'm just saying, what makes you think like if they really wanted to upgrade and go with Stafford, this team will cut him. They don't give a shit about money. They are a very aggressive, they are act now and ask questions later. Like, we're going to do this and we'll worry about it later. Stan Kroenke is a very rich man. As you could tell, that freaking monster stadium that he built. Okay? So their willingness to not give a shit and just do what they want to do to try to improve this team and in the meantime hurt the 49ers. I just have a fear of them, and I'm not afraid of losing to them. I just think that if John Lynch becomes slightly passive, this team could come in and steal Stafford right under our feet. And I've been reading in lots of places, it could be smokescreen, 100%. But I have been reading that they have been working the phones to try to get rid of Jared Goff. So just keep that in the back of your head. Keep their track record in the back of your head. And that's all I'm saying. I appreciate your contribution of $5, though. Thank you very much. Dale, the GOAT, I cannot drink Red Bull because I will jump out of my skin.
Big Des, thank you for the contribution. He says, do we draft a burner at wide receiver if we acquire Stafford to stretch the field and give Shanahan another weapon to be creative with? My answer quickly is going to be you can get a burner, but in the later rounds.
Yeah.
One of those guys who's only athletic and you never really saw anything. But I think people really sleep on Ayuk's ability to stretch the field.
Yes, sir.
I really, really, really do. I think that they get caught up on him and his 40 time coming off of an injury. It's very, very misleading. We don't see that now because we don't have the quarterbacks to do it. I think our time here with Marquise Goodwin would look different if Stafford was our quarterback as opposed to the other guys that were his quarterback while he was here. So same thing goes for Ayuk. I don't think you reach. I'm not opposed to drafting one, but I don't think you reach and get one of those guys in the first 3 or 4 rounds just because Stafford's here. All right. And there's another contribution here. Then I have to make a phone call because my job is calling. This is from Easy Tino. Keep Jimmy and wait a minute. Focus on getting J.J. Watt. He can be our Justin Cowboy Smith. 49ers' strength is in the defense. Focus on the defense. What are your thoughts on this, Tony? I'll go first if you want.
I just think the handwriting is on the wall with Jimmy, with this organization. Kyle knows his ceiling. He knows what his limitations are. He tried his ass off to try to create different looks and different schemes to try to catch defenses off guard. Perfect example. When we shellacked the Rams on primetime football, Jimmy threw for what? 3 touchdowns and 280, maybe 300 yards. Okay. But the distance of the ball distance traveled in the air was under 5 yards. That's an issue. Teams towards the latter part of the season have been trying to take away that type of offense. Granted, Jimmy was on the field, but they tried. They tried to take our outside zone runaway by crashing their defensive ends and outside linebackers up the field, so to prevent our guys to get to the edge. So it's getting to the point where Kyle needs to do something. Kyle got what he could out of Jimmy. He got him to the Super Bowl. We had the lead with 7 minutes and 30-something seconds in the fourth quarter, and we lost. Is it all on Jimmy? No. The defense gave up that one big play. But I will tell you this, if you watched 2 or 3 shows ago, we put up 2 pitchers that could have continued to drive on 3rd and 5 and put us potentially into an end zone, into the end zone for a touchdown, and potentially put us up 3 scores, 17 points. Okay? We need a quarterback that can make that throw. That's all it comes down to. It's a basic elementary high school throw. It was literally George Kittle on a crossing route, sitting in the middle of the field on the hash, right below the Super Bowl trophy, with the 2 linebackers dropping in the zone, and they didn't even know George Kittle was sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
But what did Jimmy do? He checked down to Kendrick Bourne, and it was an incomplete pass. The ball traveled 3 yards. We need a quarterback that can stand there, scan the field, go through the progressions, and make that strike. And that's why I think everyone is so adamant about trying to improve this offense by addressing the quarterback. It's not – I don't know.
All right, so here's my thing, right? I'm not even going to respond on the keep Jimmy and wait part. I'm going to respond on the second half of it. Focus on getting J.J. Watt. He can be our Justin Cowboy Smith. 49ers' strength is on the defense. Focus on the defense. Here's the problem. Let me tell you a story. Picture this. Sicily, 1989. No, I'm kidding. But picture this. All right? 2017. The date, January 14th. This date is the date that Jed York fell in love with Kyle Shanahan. All right? Let me paint a picture for you guys. Okay? Divisional playoff round. Ed York's biggest adversary is in the postseason. It's the Seahawks. All right. The Seahawks finished the season 11-6-1. And they're going up against a team that went 12-5. The Seahawks were the favorites in this game, going up against Matt Ryan. Okay. On this day, Kyle Shanahan puts on an absolute clinic against the Legion of Boom, a healthy Legion of Boom. Matt Ryan goes 26 of 37 for 338 yards and 3 touchdowns. No picks. Okay. His team runs for over 100 yards and a touchdown, and they spread the ball around something beautiful. Devontae Freeman was their leading receiver on the day with 4 receptions for 80 yards. You want to know who their next receiver was on top of that? Taylor Gabriel with 71 yards. Okay. And then there was Julio Jones, who was used to check down all day long. 6 receptions, but only 67 yards and a touchdown. Mohamed Sanu had 4 receptions, 44 yards. Here's my point. The strength of the 49ers team is the defense, but that's also the problem. Kyle Shanahan was not brought here to give a good defense to the 49ers. Kyle Shanahan was brought here because of his offensive mind and what he could do to opposing teams. And we have to see that. We have yet to see it here in all his time here. We have not seen that MVP type season from a quarterback in the offense, okay? We just haven't seen it yet. And so the 49ers having the strength of the team be the defense is a major problem. We didn't need Kyle Shanahan to get Robert Saleh. We could have hired anybody to get Robert Saleh. We got Kyle Shanahan for a reason, and we have to execute on that. We have to focus on the offensive side of the ball. All right? Now, listen, guys, we're not going to be on. We're not going to stay here for the entire show. Or for the entire Senior Bowl, I should say. I want to get to the rest of these contributions. I lost one, man. There was one from Shawnee here somewhere I think I missed. This is from Rico, though, Tony. Rico says, we definitely shouldn't overspend on Stafford, but keeping Jimmy G should be at a last resort. Definitely take a flyer on a QB in the draft. I'm available also. I like it.
Sign him up.
I like it a lot, man. No, but I like what he said. Keeping Jimmy should be a last resort. And that's not a bad last resort. If your last resort got you to the Super Bowl 2 years ago, I think it's pretty good. This one here is for you. This is from Sean. He says, Tony, I agree, except that GM gave him the extension. Golf only there because of the GM. You guys live far from Houston. Hoboken. 16 teams are in cap hell. We purge?
Yes, he did give him the extension. He gave him the extension when the offense was playing at a much higher level, and it seems like he plateaued and hit a wall, kind of like somebody else. I live probably about a half hour from Hoboken. 16 teams are in cap hell. We purge. I don't know. What do you think? Do we purge?
I'm not sure. I don't know what he means. I don't know what he means by that. Are we trying to like start dumping stuff? No, I don't think so. I don't think we start. I think the 49ers are still in perfect position here to make some plays. I think the 49ers are still well within their Super Bowl window here. I don't think we've lost enough players where we feel like the run is over or anything like that. So, that's my take on it. American Enemy says, I'm not sure if the 49ers schedule next year. I'm not sure of the 49ers schedule next year, but if there is one game you at NBN could attend in person, who would it be against? All right, that's a really good question here. That's a really, really good question. So I'm going to pull up the 49ers schedule. I know I'm going to the Eagles game already because they play the Eagles here on the East Coast. But I'm not sure what other teams they play. So right now we play, obviously you have your divisional games that happen twice, all right? You have the Bears in Chicago. You have the Lions, and that's it right there. Matt Stafford's coming to the Niners. Revenge game, Detroit Lions, week 1 in Detroit. I think that's how it goes down. NFL loves these kind of stories. I forgot that we played the Lions in Detroit this coming season, man. We're in Jacksonville. We're at Philly, like I said, in the divisional games. And then on the road, at home, we have the Packers, the Vikings, the Texans, the Colts, the Falcons, and the Titans. So one road game, if I could go to out of all of them, I've been to Detroit already. I would probably like to go to Jacksonville, believe it or not. I think I would love to watch a game outside in Jacksonville. I think that would be the one wish list road game. I already said I'm going to the Eagles. And a home opponent I would like to see us play against would be the Titans. That's what I got there. What do you got, Tony? Oh, Tony's gone. Damn. Y'all didn't even let me know I was talking to myself this whole time. That's crazy. There he is. Hey, Tony.
Hey.
What games would you go to, man?
From what I'm hearing, you're probably gonna need the COVID vaccine, so I'm not going.
Oh yeah, no. I don't think that's
I definitely would like to try to go to a home game. Whatever. I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna pick one. Whatever one I could go to. Pretty much, it goes accordingly to work schedule and stuff like that. But
all right, I like it, man. I like it. We play in Tennessee this year, Mike.
Do we play the Jets this year?
He's right. We do play in Tennessee. We play the Falcons at home, the Colts at home, the Texans at home, Vikings at home, Packers at home, and then Seahawks, Rams, Cardinals at home.
I would like to go to a Colt game. I like that stadium, Luke Oil Field.
Yeah, but we're at home in that game.
Oh, we are home. We're not there.
I guess if I couldn't see us play against the Titans in Santa Clara, I'd probably go against the Seahawks. I think that's always a fun thing. The Packers was cool, but that was too much of a shellacking. We beat the hell out of them both times in Santa Clara. So give me a game that's going to be a little bit more more highly anticipated. You know what I'm saying? What do you think?
Seahawks.
Eeyore?
Seahawks.
Oh, Seahawks. Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's do it. Seahawks. Seahawks. Is that their thing? Is that their chant? I don't know. I just made that up.
Cares.
Yeah. All right. So we look like we got a good game going on here, man. They just tied it up. It's going to get interesting, man. But I don't see my guy out there anymore. I want to see Jamie Newman play. It was good to watch these offensive linemen, man. I'm going to get up out of here, guys. I have to get to work. I got a call a while ago and haven't called this person back yet. So woe is me. I should not have been doing that. I'm going to go. Tony, I'm sorry to cut it short, bro. I'm really, really sorry. But guys, I know, but we should. I wanted us to do the whole show, but I am on call. I got to get back to work. So I apologize to everybody out there. We will be back very soon. So make sure you guys keep your notifications turned on and you guys are locked in. Okay. Tony, any final thoughts, man? Even if it comes to, something with the senior.
Final thoughts. Hopefully we get
They really doing the Pro Bowl Madden?
I don't know. So hopefully we get some resolve to these rumors. Something comes out hopefully soon so we can put the madness to bed. Just keep your alert set because if it comes, if that news drops, we're going. So
yeah,
just be ready. And it's not only if it's a Stafford deal. If we add another coach, if we sign somebody to an extension, it's going to come. Some people might think it's ridiculous to say, we hired an assistant defensive back coach, but you know what? Our theory here is to keep the fans up to date. So that's what we do here. And that's pretty much it. That's all I got on my end.
Yeah. All right, man. That's going to do it for me too. My final thoughts are you guys should be patient here. I do think the Niners are exhausting all options here. We're going to find out what happens. We don't know what's going to play out. We don't know if they're going to get a guy or not, but we hope they do. We hope they upgrade. Anybody opposed to an upgrade, I have to question you. Regardless of what you think of Jimmy Garoppolo, it's about whether or not you can upgrade. And if you can upgrade, you should want to do that as long as the price is right. So that's my final thought here. I'm going to read this last contribution that just popped in here from D. Philpott. He says, without the most injuries in NFL history, we're back in the Super Bowl. Relax. We can't lose at pick 12. Get another weapon for Kyle and Jimmy and draft interior offensive lineman. Okay, I see what he's saying. Yeah, I do. I said it already, especially depending on if we end up trading for a quarterback. I wouldn't be surprised to see an offensive lineman as the first draft pick in 2021. What are your thoughts on this comment here, Tony? And then we're going to get up out of here.
I think it all depends on, as far as like with the 12th pick. I think it depends on what happens with the roster. If they cut a Weston Richburg, if they cut a D Ford, spots are going to open up. If they're unable to retain Kerry Hyder, we got to add an edge guy. So my guy's Aziz Alawandi, whatever his name is, from Georgia, is a speed rusher. If you're looking to replace a D Ford, that's your type of rusher. There are some other guys in the draft that are pretty good. 2 of them are playing in the Senior Bowl. It's Hayes from Notre Dame. There's an Ohio State guy, Cooper. Roach from Miami's in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Those are guys that could be had in rounds 2, 3, 4. But we definitely do need to address the edge if we lose D Ford and unable to retain him. Hyder.
All right.
As far as real quick interior offensive line, I do not think they're going to go interior in round 1.
Oh, silly man.
Interior could be potentially a trade back situation. Get another couple picks in the middle rounds or something, and then you could address the interior offensive line in the latter part of the draft. You got a bunch of guys playing today. The kid from Wisconsin, something. He's a complete animal. He came in with like long ass mullet hair. His gut was hanging out because his shirt was rolled up under his pads. He's a maniac, freak athlete. 6'3", I think 6'3", 315. Had one hell of a week at the Senior Bowl, and we got to look for players like that. So, and that's all I have. Thank you, D. Phil Pod, for the $4.99 contribution. Listen, guys, my DMs are open. You want to shoot me a DM? My man Darby's getting busy right now. I've really put the money into that roster. He's my guy. I like him. I like him a lot. And God forbid they move on. Well, not God forbid. If they do have to move on from Kendrick Bourne, Darby's the replacement because he's Kendrick Bourne part 2. Dancing around, having fun, loose. We're at that point. We got a good roster, got a lot of free agents, and we got to maneuver the money now. So
I think Darby's got a little bit more shake to him than Kendrick Bourne.
Yeah. But that's all I got.
All right, guys, we're going to get up out of here. We thank you guys for rocking out with us. We appreciate you guys, and we're going to see you on the other side. Prepare for glory.
Anticipate pain.
But always remain faithful. We're out of here, guys. Peace.
We all gas, no brakes, pumped up, no fakes. We spinning, we winning, we high stakes. We never miss, we all makes. Look at us dudes trying to prove, bringing you news with nothing to lose. Mike, Nick, Tony, Wayne, Method Man, we